Just a reminder that these games also serve as a zonal qualifier for the African Cup of Nations under 20, and that will be staged out in Mauritania, and subsequent to that will be the World Cup with the best 4 teams at the continental, a showpiece that will be able to qualify for the world spectacle. Now, as we look at in terms of what South Africa has been able to do, this is a team that does have 8 titles to their name, and they are last year's finalists. We find out about their preparations ahead of this one. Okay, in just a minute, we will be looking at their preparation. Now, let's look at the groups that we will be seeing in this year's edition. We do have Lesotho, Mozambique, South Africa, and Zimbabwe. We saw Mozambique getting a victory over Lesotho, with South Africa and Zimbabwe yet to play, the 2 neighbors. Group B, we still find other 4 nations that will be playing in the Comoros, Malawi, Namibia, as well as the defending champions, Zambia. Group C, that's when we find 3 teams, and we have Angola, Botswana, as well as Eswatini that will be playing tomorrow.
Yeah, we couldn't get all of them because of the lockdown regulations, from their respective countries. But we managed to get our captain, who was also present in the past edition when we lost in the final. So we are excited that he's coming in, and the boys are also excited, to know that, the captain is also he will be joining the team.
Yeah, mentally we've been trained. We have a trainer here, our mental coach. Coach Nati has been going through the processes of, the pressure, building up to that stage of the tournament. Everyone, in the team is feeling the pressure.
And this is how things currently look as far as group standings are concerned. Group A, we already saw that clash between Mozambique and Lesotho. South Africa and Zimbabwe will clash up here to fight for places. They're currently top of the group with 3 points after that victory. And now we look at what will unfold here before us. It is a game between Amajita as well as the Young Warriors of Zimbabwe. These are 2 teams. Between them, they do have 14 trophies. South Africa winning 8 and Zimbabwe winning 6. So today it will be a great battle between the 2 nations that know each other very, very well. So it's neighbors that will be up in action here today. As now we look at what South Africa will put out, and Coach Helman Kalele speaks about the players that he has been able to bring in, the likes of Leonardo Roy, as well as Nkosikhona Radebe, Ethan Brooks, and Lindokuhle Zungu, as well as Mohlala Makola. But for more, let's hear from both coaches. Coach, I appreciate your time as last year's finalist. How is the mood for this year's edition of the COSAFA Under 20 Youth Championship?
Yeah, the mood is high in the camp, even though we are tense, because we'll be playing our first game. So especially when you don't know, the type of opponents that you'll be coming against, but knowing very well that playing against any nation, it is always tough, because each and every nation wants to make sure that they beat, South Africa. But our main focus is not there. We're just focusing on the game, that we do well and make sure that we win the game.
You speak about it being a bit tense, Coach. Let's look at the players that you now have. You've kept some of the players from last year's edition, but some of the players that you have here are yet to taste some competitive football. How will that affect the team?
Can you repeat the question?
How will the fact that some of your players in the team have already started playing regularly and some haven't?
Yeah, I believe that, it's not going be a huge factor because most of the players, they've been starting to play in their first teams, and also trading with their first teams. But the beauty about it, we managed to get a core of our players that we played during the COSAFA, the last edition. So those players are used to the conditions and the demands of this tournament. So for those that are new, then it will become easier for them to adapt in this situation. But yeah, it's not going to be easy, and also for them, especially those that are new, it is a right platform for them to adapt quickly so that they can keep their position in their team, in our team, and also get more opportunities being scouted by their or promoted by their clubs.
Thank you, Coach. All the best.
Thank you so.
Coach, I appreciate your time. After Zimbabwe did not enter last year's COSAFA Under-20 Youth Championship, what are the aims for this time around?
Well, it was very disappointing, to say the least. Very disappointing because we denied some of the boys an opportunity to be seen here, an opportunity to participate in this prestigious tournament. So it was very disappointing. But here we are. This year we are here, and we want to make use of the time. These boys are confident. They came here with a lot of confidence, and they want to make sure that they showcase their talent here and be seen.
You're up against the host nation in South Africa. Coach, tell us more about this team and what it is that your team has that will try counter what they're going to put out today.
Look, it's going to be an interesting match, if I should put it that way. Very interesting one. I think we've had very interesting duels in the past, and I expect this one to be equally interesting. So let's see what happens in the game. But we know our opponents have some bit of experience. Of course, the South African season is on. Our season has not yet started, so that's where the difference is. But we've done our homework, and hopefully the plan we are going to put out today will really give us a result.
Thank you very much, Coach. All the best.
Thank you very much.
South Africa will be looking into just consolidating where they left off last year, and Zimbabwe just returning after not being a part of this beautiful stage last year. So two sides that know each other very well as far as player personnel are concerned. Two sides that you won't see just an easy game go by. It is the COSAFA Youth Championship Under-20 that has just gotten underway. Second match, humidity sitting on 53%, and the speed, of course, of the wind is just 23 kilometers an hour. And here is that beauty of a trophy looking at finding a new home. If you look at the Zimbabwean side, one of the sides that have won this trophy about 1, 2, 3 times, and 2018 they were runners up of this prestigious event. They found themselves in the finals, of course, that is 2018, and then 2019 they take a sit back and relax to see how best they can come back strong in the year 2020 through a pandemic. This team still comes back to life, and South African side having a depth of players who perhaps may have minutes on their legs. The likes of Rowan Human, who ends his strides overseas, of course, and was once also promoted to the first team, and a squad that knows what is at stake playing at home, and knowing very well that they could be at an advantage being at home.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our dignitaries. Safa Nelson Mandela Bay President.
Now, having a few moments to just welcome the dignitaries who also just make sure that we have a successful event, well executed event, and they'll share a few pointers with regards to
Good
the
evening,
tournament?
everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. As we start this tournament, the Under-20 COSAFA tournament, we will hope and wish that all the teams are going to display the kind of football that the South African region is known of, that of a flair and entertainment. We want to see more goals, as that is going to fill the void of the spectators not coming to the stadium as they are sitting at home. Be safe and observe all the protocols of the COVID-19. In welcoming everyone in the Nelson Mandela Bay, the home of legend, we wish all the teams to do well, the best teams to win, qualify, and all the best. Thank you very much.
Well, short, brief, warm welcome by one of the delegates.
Good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of COSAFA and the Executive Committee of COSAFA and the entire region, we are very happy to be here and we are being treated very well. This is all we know is Under-20 zonal qualifier, the first one ever in our region. And we wish everybody that is here a very successful stay here. And we wish everyone a lovely afternoon. Thank you.
Now, swiftly moving to one of the last dignitaries to share his words of encouragement and support.
On behalf of the Nelson Mandela Bay residents who would have loved to be here and fill this stadium, as we normally do when there's no COVID, we just wish to say to all the teams that will be participating in this year's 2020 COSAFA Under-20 Championships, we wish you all the best of luck. My responsibility is just to say, let the games begin. This tournament is officially open. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Zimbabwe.
Go behind me.
Now, the formalities are out the way. We say the 2018 runners-up, that is Zimbabwe, and 2019 runners-up, that is South Africa, to take on each other in the second match of the Under-20 Youth Championship. Will be an interesting encounter. I mean, if you look at the younger Zimbabweans, you know that they're familiar with how South African football is being played, because some of them would end up ending their strides in South Africa. Now, a match official there would be referee Latisha Viana from Eswatini, and his assistant will be Diana Chikotesha, and the second assistant Venestaccio Cosa. That is our officials for this match. And we had a good opening match. We had a good encounter that officials had a good day, led by Akona Sheriff, and another lady from Eswatini will be giving us another match. Now, the South African side, you have familiar faces, the likes of Sinenjongo Umkiva, Osvin Apolis, one of the players who ends his stride now with the senior first team of Super Sport United, and knowing that there's Ethan Brooks that is selected by Helman Mkelele. Now, Zimbabwean side, they have their own players, Tapiwa Mandinyena, Lexington Mujuko. There's a number of players you can look at, and Rafael Pizzi. Now, let's just stand up for a moment of silence. You know, a moment of silence out of the way. Players will be looking into switching on their mode to compete in this match. Now, this is Lancaster Rowan Human, a captain who arrived yesterday from playing 90 minutes with his team in Europe, and back to be with his team to help them lift that trophy. The likes of coach Helman Mkelele, former Orlando Pirates winger, and that is Monde, the goalkeeper, a coach, as well as a condition of this team. Now, the ball is on the center, and it's all system goes as the ref blows the whistle for start, and the Zimbabwean side not holding back anything here against this South African team. They know each other. They know what is at stake in this tournament. They know there's a rivalry when these two countries meet. And you'll see a lot of character as well. You'll see a lot of strength being required here. A lot of endurance also being required from these young boys. Now, ball played to Osvin Apolis, wearing that number 10. Say that seeing Osvin Apolis without hair is something that is shocking to some of us. We're not used to him with a Chiskov. But a change is good. Now, a ball played in for Osvin Apolis. Can he drop it in? But a good interception by Rafael Patisi to just deny South Africa a chance in this first minute of the game. Now, Zimbabwe looking to put in a cross, but a header just in the box, cleared outside the box, and recovering in numbers. That is a South African side. Now, a patient build-up could be good for either of the sides, but we wait to see what and who has what in store. Now, a suicidal pass coming from that man at the back, and quickly apologizes. That is Uncle Atenkos Mkaba, 19 years old, this young man. Ball played long to try to find that number 9 Sinenjongo Mkiva. And yes, a winger Osvin Apollis. I must say he's had quite sufficient training time for his fitness level, so he is not to worry. He can sustain a good 90 minutes of the match because he's been with the first team ever since they've opened for teams to train. Now a good cross put in, and keeper comes out. Now can he? Milazi just put in a crosser, but a touch not enough coming there from Sinenjongo Mkiva. That is Rahim Milazi, and we know him from the team that plays in the multi-choice Diski Challenge with under coach Arthur Zwane. He normally comes in as a sub, and he wears the lucky number 14, this young man Rahim Milazi. But that is Ethan Brooks, also a player who's got the pace, I must say. That now he's just closing in and not allowing opponents to take any advantage or to move ahead of him. He's a player with a good personality, good character as well. Must just say that the Zimbabwean side won't sit back. They won't respect any opposition team. They're a team that you know when they have the ball, what they want is getting a goal. So should South Africa drop the ball and Zimbabwe gets a chance to score, they'll definitely profit from that. They'll definitely say, we take our chances as early as we can. And now everything is just being played along. Ball with Munashe Katondo. Back to Rafael Patisi. The keeper for the Zimbabwean side just patiently building up and moving from one side to the other. There's Tinotendo Muringi. You can say that the strength is required when these two sides meet. And this man from centre back, that is Atenkosi Mkaba, forcing them deep, not allowing that number 9 Tapiwa Mandinyenya. Has got strength, Tapiwa, so you wouldn't want him in the box, you wouldn't want him nearer to you or nearer at the box to trouble that man Buntle Mulife. Buntle is a well-kept keeper in the MDC challenge as well. Pole headed over, trying to find Milazi, but Milazi pulled by that man on the right-hand side. Throw in for South Africa, that is. Bilal Baloyi finds Ethan Brooks. That's a foul throw has been given to Zimbabwe. And well, it's 5 minutes into the game already. The coach is up on his feet. It's just issuing instructions and shouting to his players. I think an early goal is what has been mandated to these players. Now, an error there with a hospital pass, but a good cover coming from the right-hand side, just to make sure that they do not get that scoring chance. But the ball crossed in and cleared away to find Osvin Apollis, who then rolls it for Nkosi corner. Khatebe on the ball, trying to find that lucky number 9, Sinenjongo Mkiva. Mkiva to Apollis. Skillful Apollis, this young man, to find Khatebe. Back to Atenkosi Mkaba to then switch play and patiently build from the back with Zima forced to just keep into their own half, but they found that big man Tapiwa Mandinyenya. It's a 1v1 with the left back. Now a ball across the end and forced to be cleared away before it becomes a dangerous ball. And I think Mkaba has just a bite the dust. Young man. I must say, sometimes you need to take one for the team, and that is what he did. Let's say Ibuntle Mulife, also one of the goalkeepers who are for the future, follow in the footsteps of Itumele Nkune and late Nzuri Senzo Meiwa. And the referee says, put the ball properly, rather keep it before the line or on the line. So no cheating here from the lady from Eswatini. That is Letitia Antonella Viana. Quite a strange name. A crosser put in a but good header coming from the Zim side. A ball watching. That was there by South Africa. In disbelief. That is Panashe Mutamba Nyoni, who found himself converting that one. Should have came out of his line. Buntle Mulife. Instead of him not coming out of his line early. Then look at this ball floated. He had the attempt to go for, but this man says, I can punish you. His name is Panashe Mutimbanyoni, who is scoring against Buntle Mulife, against a large number of South African players sitting in the box and not competing for that high ball. Now, Panashe Mutimbanyora is one player who's registered his name in this inception of the tournament, and Zimbabwe won, South Africa 0. Now, scoring against the Zimbabwean side that has the personnel and the character will be something that will demand a lot of energy from the South African footballers, the likes of Rahim Milazi, Asvin Apolis and Rowan Human. And Sinanjong Mkiva can maybe come up with something from the training ground, because their fitness level is really not something to question. Ngosi Kona Khatebe to Osvin Apolis opening his arms and saying, where must I take the ball? And Khatebe there winning himself a foul after being pushed by that big man. If you see the Zimbabwean side, the structure, Muneshi Karananga. Just hope and you keep on hoping that maybe Zimbabwe can walk out with a 1-goal lead. Can South Africa come back in this one? The man who's barely had a rest, that is Rowan Human. He comes from playing a match, full 90 minutes, then got on a flight, 18 hours flight to be with under 20 national team, floated to the first pole with a touch, but cleared away by Zimbabwe. Oh, the dummy runs were there. No. Now ball played wide and trying to take a shot, but delays it for that lucky number 9. But Tapiwa Mandinyenya unable to make that proper contact or connection with the ball to give Buntle Mulife the run for his money. And I must say, if you're a leading coach, you will be animated because you'd want to keep that goal. A ball played wide by South Africa on the left-hand side. Oh, if you're a Zimbabwean, you already a goal up, you rather not exhaust yourself, but keep it in your half, let them come at you, and not you come at them. Or the first touch coming from Tapiwa. It just He's got the strength, young man. No, not properly cleared again. Can South Africa be punished again? But a good cover coming from the center. Ethan Brooks adding that support structure. Now, Bilal Baloyi should know better when he's the last man. Now, a ball played it to Rahim Milazi, but denied the run by Munashe Katondo. Now, Rahim Milazi trying to combine with Ethan Brooks there in the final third or closer to the box of the opposition team. Now, cleared away by a big man, Munashe. Now, ball with Nkoskhona Khatebe was pushed forward, and the ball played it to Oswin Apollis, and he puts a foot pass to Khatebe. Kenny then now drops a shoulder, tries to find his teammate. He floats it very well, spoiled by the keeper, but cleared in the box by the defense of Zimbabwe. That is Manered Matsigite. Matsigite sounds very Swati with the T and all, but Zimbabwean. Or a pass played long with no address on it. Eventually gone out for goal kick. Now you're building from the back. That is Nkoskhona Khatebe. It goes wide to find Rahim Milazi, and a pacey player for this national team. Now pulled in the box, and the ref says, not now, Rahim, not now, young man. There was no foul there. Ball played to Ethan Brooks. Goes back to Kaba. Kaba finds it. Human. I don't know if Rowan Human has dropped so deep and just trying to collect the ball in their own half. Now run is there. Rahim Milazi finds Tepo Mieni to Brooks, and Brooks wants to float it behind the defenders, but Zimbabwe have the height and players with the energy to go for high balls. Now combination of touches, it's just looking good for Zimbabwean side. Forces Oswin Apollis to drop it too deep to assist with the marking in the center of the park. Now ball played long, trying to find that man Sinenjongo Mkiva. Rahim Milazi, top goal scorer for the Kaizer Chiefs under 19 squad MDC team this previous season. I mean, he becomes a top goal scorer, even though he most of the time would come in from the bench. Quite an interesting way for him to get that award. Khatebe Nkoskhona on the ball. He drops one and he loses the opponent. He gets pulled by the jersey, but putting his body in front is just a good move. And here's that man trying to curl it up. But Sinenjongo Mkiva, what an idea. What a move coming from Nkoskhona Khatebe. Just combining with Sinenjongo Mkiva. I mean, a drop of a shoulder, finding a pocket there. It's just inches, centimeters away from just going into goal. Now a foul awarded to Zimbabwe coming from Ethan Brooks. In disbelief, he says, Madam, but I didn't go too hard with that one. Well, clearly he had stretched his foot the first time and was given room, but the second time around He stepped on the player, so a good call by the ref, should we say? Well, it's a set piece in a very dangerous zone or area that requires numbers to be put in as far as the wall is concerned, and well positioning himself, Buntle Mulife, would help him save this one. We don't know the technique coming from that man standing with the ball to test the Buntle Mulifes. Just curious how he's going to take that one. Is he going to go for goal? But it looks like it. Well, then he goes, but nothing much to trouble the keeper there. Well, it even had a moment of silence because we don't know the techniques they have. They weren't part of this prestigious event. They weren't part of this championship last year, even though 2018 they were runners-up. The Zimbabwean side did not take part in the COSAFA Youth Championship. Well, clearly the idea is that let's push when we get to the opposition's half. Let's identify a player who's on the further side to try play the ball to him. Now a ball played in to find Sinenjong Mkiva, but first touch not the greatest. Still this man, Ethan Brooks and Rahim Milazi. On the ball is Milazi now loses a player with the drop of the shoulder. He cuts it back in, but not enough power coming from Rahim Milazi. Maybe had he chipped it over, would have been a challenging ball for the defenders, and the keeper would have perhaps popped out. Now a foul has to be given here because there was no intent to getting that ball. This man. If you look there, he went direct into him because he had realized that he wanted to win that ball, and he went to block him. That is Kelvin Mangiza. Now ball played in, keeper coming out there, but saved by that man Munashe Karananga. The keeper was just lucky there was no one behind him. It could have been a bad situation. Corner in favor now, and in swing coming towards the first pole by Oswin Apollis. No, I must say he's polished his set pieces because you train with the likes of Sipo Mbule. Now again, attempted to go with first pole, the keeper came out, but the header coming from this big man, Mushala Mukalo, could have troubled the keeper. The idea was there. No, it's just he had a good direction and good weight on the ball, but just away from the frame of goal. Maybe had he flicked it over, would have been a different story. Yeah, it's a good attempt. Now, Coach Helman Kelele applauding his players for that almost goal attempt they had. Now, what a skill coming there to lose the opponent, but nothing to trouble the keeper. Well, pressing and having the numbers, the ball been taken out by Oswin Apollis. He's got the pace, he's got the bike. Now, switches play to find Rahim Milazi, and Milazi also one of the paces players, and he gets himself into the box, but he drops it in, and what a shot, but really, I think it's promising goals for South Africa. It's just the decision making in the final third. Well, 20 minutes into the play, he's coming all right, and the coaches are saying, you're doing well. Now, I'm not sure if Zimbabwe, is this the type of football they want to play? They want to watch South Africa most of the time win the ball in the air. They've got the height as well, so I don't see them not competing for those high balls. Now, Human is the ball in the center. They're dishing it out to Apolis, but eventually it goes to Nkosko Nakhatebe up against that man, Kelvin Mangiza. Paulo Tapio Martin Nyenya. This man is trying to trouble the full backs of South Africa. It hasn't been happening very well for him. Apollis finds Ethan Brooks. Coaches are fuming on the bench there. That's not the whole circumference of the ball was out, so shouldn't have stood as a throw in. Rather, it should have continued with play. Now, Rafael Patisi, another trouble by Sinenjong Mkiva. Ref has blown the whistle for a water break. Yeah, no. This game felt like it just started in the last 5 minutes. But 25 minutes is on the clock, and as things stand, Zimbabwean side have an upper hand on the lead here. Coach will just look into helping them keep this goal and keep shape in the center, making sure that you don't create those rooms for South Africa to penetrate through. And I mean, temperatures are still on 22 degrees Celsius, so nothing hot, nothing unfamiliar as far as the temperatures are concerned. Now here is that corner just being played in, and the marking was not convincing because the likes of Nkosko Nakhatebe could have headed that ball away. They shouldn't have given room to Kelvin Mangiza to jump high because it was 3-on-1. I mean, it was all by himself. So nobody making a decision as in who is going for the ball cost South Africa. Maybe had one person called it out, that it's their ball between Nkoskona. I mean, the Bilal Baloyi were there, and Atenko Simkaba just decided to duck there and not compete for the ball. Now, Zimbabwean side have restarted after just a mini water break. Ball is played wide to that goal scorer, Kelvin Mangiza. Finds his teammate Tino Tenda, whips in a good cross coming in, and a header cleared off to find Rahim Milazi. That is a good header coming from Bilal Baloyi, who spotted Milazi and then played to Rowan Human. Now Oswin has the ball, and there's a number. Of course, it goes for shot, blocked by Munashe Katonda. They're putting his body behind and just not giving room for that shot to bother the keeper. Played and flicked to Tapiwa Mandinyenya. Offside corner picked up by the assistant ref on the far side of the pitch. That is Vinastasio Thomas Cosa from Mozambique. I think South African side are just on the right track. It's only a matter of time that they maybe convert one chance. The ball played it to Atenkosi Mkaba, 19 years of age, and has been played 5 games for this national team. Called to an offside by Rahim Milazi. Keeper goes long to find Tapiwa Mandinyenya. Milazi again on the ball. Milazi to find Sinenjongo Mkiva. If you look at the two sides, is that in the near future, in a season or two to come, they'll probably meet again. Probably some of them will become teammates, knowing the relationship between South Africa and footballers from Zimbabwe. And, should others be given the buying option again, you are most likely going to find a striker in that team. Side like now. Ball in the danger zone and trying to find the Rahim Milazis of the game, but just defensive wise, if South Africa keeps the ball down, Zimbabwe becomes frustrated. So passing and rotating the ball to try and get those spaces, but the pass not well read by that man Rowan Human, and it finds a Milazi making a foul. Now ball played it behind and no offside is there, and then it tries to roll it in. That is a Tapiwa Mandinyenya. Then to Oswin Apolish, good first touch coming from this young man, and advances. Is he going to take a shot? But idea was there. to take a shot. He opted to play Ethan Brooks, who was also on the run with no offside trap. Now, what a pass going wide, coming from the center there from Lexington Mojukoro. Now, the ball to find that number 9. Yeah, volley. That what a ball watching. Defense-wise, South Africa, if they don't stay tight to this man, Tapiwa Mandinyanya, they will find themselves punished. Look at that 10, and just that volley, just a few meters away from the frame of goal. Now, if he's troubling them too much, if you look at the goal attempts, South Africa have 3 and Zimbabwe are sitting on 4. If he's troubling you too much, then kill the supply going to him, because he's a danger man. He's lethal, he's powerful, he's got the strength. Creative as well with what he wants to do with the ball, nothing complicated. Now, Apollo is forever opening his arms and trying to see where he takes the ball across, not profitable for Ngoskona Khatebe. Now Ethan Brooks finds that man is in Njongo and he makes a good 10, but centre back stood his ground, was able to poke that one away. Still won by South Africa in the opponent's half. A ball gone to Rahim Milazi from Rowan Human. Rahim Milazi go for a striker, but nothing to trouble the keeper there. But the intent and the attempt is there. The movement of the ball is there. The interest, the hunger to just try and get a goal is there. I mean, Coach Helman Kelly said it. You guys are not bad at all. You guys are pushing very well. Spend your time in their half. Now, good header, but offside call by that man from Mozambique. Again, switching play, Makola going long, trying to find Ethan Brooks, and the keeper was already coming out. Now, ball played wide to that man. Has been quiet. Now he goes for a striker, Buntle Mulife. Well, goes down very well, good technique. Now, police being put under pressure by Kelvin Mangiza. Now offside being called. If you look at the Zimbabwean side, you know which players have emerged from Zim and have cemented their stay in South Africa. Now Rahim Milazi not given an option to pass the ball, so he's forced to dribble his way into the box. Nobody coming closer to him. Well, if you look at where Rahim Milazi comes from, Naturena, there's a bigger Zimbabwean footballer there, and solid in the center, and always distributing passes and creating goals coming from Mamelodi Sundowns. That is a come-up billiard, and of course not forgetting Williat Katande Mboka. That's what he's recently started calling himself. But not forgetting a solid midfielder once Kaizer Chiefs had. That is Tinashe Nigomashe. One of the midfielders that you'd really struggle to penetrate through. One of the fielders that would really make it hard for you to just dominate the center if they're there. Benjamin Muwari also coming from Zimbabwe. And of course, again, with the Kaizer Chiefs side, you have Knowledge Musona. What a player that is. No. I think Mkaba finds Apollos back to Mkaba. And Apollos creating that room and just a space for this man to tuck in and Koskona Khatebe, and he reads it very well, this young man. Now Ethan Brooks on the ball. The idea is there that maybe try to get another goal before the game changes if you are Zimbabwe, but they are congested. They are frustrated. They cannot get out of their own box. South Africa has thrown in numbers, and numbers are not allowing them to pop out and try and dominate in the opponent's half, which is a bit tough when you are on the lead because you need to protect it. A ball given to Atenkosi Mkaba. Now here's this man Rahim Milazi. Now the idea to find and take a shot at goal, but not much pockets are available for the likes of Tsepo Mieni. What 5 goals scored so far, and we know that he can take those shots. We know that he's got the drive, he's got the technique too. Now don't forget to catch the games live on COSAFA TV. Now if you also want to engage with us while you're watching it on www.COSAFA TV and Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we are COSAFA Under 20. Second game of Group A, that is South Africa versus Zimbabwe. And earlier on we saw Mozambique dominating with that 1 goal they scored and tried to keep it while playing against Lesotho. So now another goal has been scored in the first half by Zimbabwe. Could this be a curse that we will just open the tournament with a goal each team on Group A? Ball played to Munashe Garananga and comes back to Tinotendo Moringi to find that man Tapiwa. Now intercepted, and Ethan Brooks is trying to throw it to Sinenjongo Mkiva. Ozwinapol is a pacey player. Not the greatest first touch coming from Tsepo Mieni. Throw in favor of South Africa. You know, Buntle Molefe would be happy if maybe his side would try and get a goal. Ethan Brooks looking for Ozwinapol. Back to Ethan Brooks. Can they make good use of this one? Tsepomieni pocket passes to Sinenjongo Mkiva, who tries to take a shot, and a protest for a handball, but the ref says not now. Now that is a bookable offense, and this one might be a setback for South Africa. Atenkosi Mkaba with the showing of starts, going hard. I think he is lucky there. He is a lucky man to get a yellow card. That is Atenkosi Mkaba. If you look at the intent there, no intention to play for the ball, but he went to Lexington Mujokorolo intentionally so, just showing his stats direct on the hamstring of Lexington. Well, he knows better that he got him and he survived this call. A yellow card is not what you get in this instance. It is a straight red. There was no intention. There was no intention at all to play the ball. Playing dirty, young man. That is Mkawa, 19 years old already. Playing such a dirty football. Could be Lexington Mujokoro is being given the attention, the medical attention needed. And should he come back in this match, if he will be able to come back, he would be one of the strongest young men. Oh, totally unacceptable. Now, the ref says, guys, come back. Now, here's that Sinenjongom Kiva intent or protest for a handball. No, it cannot stand as a handball. It went direct on to the shoulder to be blocked outside the box. So good call by the referee. It doesn't sit as a handball. It seems like the young man Lexington Mujokorolo is up and ready to get back into the field and fight again. You know, we live to fight another day, or you fight throughout the game. Now Ethan Brooks has got the ball. He has relevant runs. Sinenjongo just becoming too deep. Now rotation of the ball to Tepo Mieni. Now a good pass to that man Oswin Apolis, but he shied away from committing towards Rafael Patisi. He should have just committed there, not pulling out. Force the keeper to foul you, rather. Be creative. A good pass coming from Rafael Patisi to find that man wide there. A ball put in. Again, South Africa giving away all the balls have intercepted. Good turn from that man, and he's trying to drop a shoulder and ripping across, but not much is done to trouble them. But still, Zimbabwe advantageous with the ball put in, and a flag is up to be awarded an offside, rather. This man in Lexington, Mujokorolo. Now, Oswin policy here. Should have went for the ball. The keeper, yes, stretched his leg, but put the body behind the keeper and just by the ref, because the keeper has no control of his tackle. He's sliding on the grass, and if he makes contact with you, you then go down. Now Rowan Human finds Atenkosi, and but Ethan Brooks with that header wouldn't have stood anyways if it was a goal, because he was caught offside. Well, it's been a minute of the additional time, and South Africa yet to score a goal. Maybe go into the change room with a goal up. Well, we wait and see. We wait and see. Here's this man, Kelvin Mangiza, who is a goal scorer. Now Mkaba finds Elton Brooks, Ethan Brooks, and Ethan Brooks finds Sinenjongom Kiva. Can he convert this one? But still no profit from it. Keeper has already gone down, but this man, Sinenjongom Kiva, after a good turn, after a good pass coming from Ethan Brooks, he is in disbelief. Now look at that pocket pass, nice through, good first touch, but now picking a spot, too much height, it went across the frame of goal. Oh, Sinenjongo My goodness. And a coach says it is a good attempt. It is an attempt that is promising. If you do more of that, we're most likely going to get a goal. Now, here's another attempt coming from Zimbabwe, but Panashe Mutimbanyoni unable to score that one. Panashe is a man who wants to find himself taking shots at Buntle Mulife. Now Rahim Milazi goes wide to find Rowan Human. Ball is still with the captain Human. Now too much power on that ball to try and find goes corner Khatebe. Oh, the switch of play there. Now referee says, okay, enough is enough of the first half. Let us rather go into the change room. Let us go have some water and conversations with our coaches and come back. Maybe a better team, that is South Africa. For the Zimbabwean side, they'll look into trying to keep this goal and not allow South Africa to come at them. South Africa to come and try and score a goal would be something that Zimbabwe won't want to witness. No, the game is still open, should we say. And if you look at that young man walking, Sinenjongo, well, it is Zimbabwe 1 and South Africa 0. Here's that first attempt at goal, and Bunkamulife coming out, but this man is saying, if you don't come out, I will then try and score, punish you. That is Panashe Mutimbanyoni. A good weight on the ball. He had 3 men in front of him, bracketing him, but the poor decision making from Atenkosi Mkaba, Nkoskona Khatebe, unable to just win that ball. Now here's Oswin Apolli, so they're going for that first pole, and a first attempt not successful, but went again for the second one, trying to find Mushala Makola. And a set piece coming in, and Mushala just a flick. I think too much of a jump for him. Had he maybe flicked it behind him, would have been a different ball game. Well, we applaud the effort more than anything else. And he knew where he was directing the ball. You know, came again, it finds Ethan Brooks, who finds Sinenjongo Mkiva, who could have brought the team back because the keeper had already committed and went down. But Sinenjongo wanted to go for a fancy goal, and it just did not sit in with him. It went away from the frame of goal, so a few inches away. A few inches could have saw it coming on. Well, you can applaud from the coach as well. Well, statistics are going to speak for themselves in this match, with goal attempts having 6 for South Africa. Well, it's even. Now, you see the offsides is still even. However, ball position seats on the 66 in favor of South Africa and 34 for Zimbabwe.
I am now with the interim Nelson Mandela Bay Mayor, Mr. Tsonono Buyeye. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's talk about now, with this being the 4th tournament, it's fair that we can call this the home of COSAFA for 2020. How has that been as the host municipality?
No, I think that's what I said earlier in the year, that we are now officially the home of COSAFA. We have hosted COSAFA on so many occasions, and we are proud of that as a city. The unfortunate part is just that the fans this year have been deprived of coming to the venue. You know, when Banyana comes here for the past 2 tournaments, this stadium is very small. They make sure that they filled it to capacity. And but this year, through the issues that we all know about, COVID has come and has made us to be where we are today. We want to thank the residents also for heeding our call when we said they must stay at home.
and try and follow what happens here from where they are seated. And they've done that. We have not had any issues where people wanted to come and forced to come in. People have listened. So we are very grateful for that. I was joking and saying now we are only short of Bafana Bafana now. Bafana Bafana needs to come, or the bigger COSAFA tournament, the senior men needs to come to Nelson Mandela Bay. We've been such a good host as a city, and we are proud of what we have achieved as a city.
You did get to see Bafana Bafana in action in the qualifiers, the last qualifiers that they played here. We talk about a surge that we saw in numbers as far as COVID-19 is concerned. I mean, what are the health precautionary measures that have been put in place for everyone's safety?
Look, the numbers that are increasing in the city are a concern to all of us. We are concerned as a city, and when this thing started, we were saying cities that controls this better might be advantageous when it comes after it has found a vaccine. People for some time, they would want to stay away from areas where they think there was too much COVID. And we are finding ourselves in that situation, but we are sure of turning the tide around. We have done it before when there was in the first spike. We managed to even close the stadium that we used as our quarantine site because there was absolutely no one at the stadium, and everybody who had been at the stadium went home healthy, and so that's why we're saying we are very proud of what we have achieved. But obviously the numbers are concerning us, and everything that has been done, we have made sure that we are on road shows in the communities, preaching the gospel of people, making sure that they adhere to the lockdown protocols, of COVID protocols. We've been to all corners of the city. We've made sure that we are on every media house, making sure that people are aware of what is the current status, and as well as talking to our law enforcement to make sure that whenever people transgress the regulations, the law enforcement is there to see to it that those who don't do what the law says, if it means they must be arrested, they must be arrested, because the lives of our people are very important to all of us. Hence, we have been coming down on especially the liquor traders, ship beans, and so we've engaged almost all stakeholders, including the church, the religious sector, making sure that everybody is on board. This is not a one-man fight. This is not the one or government fight. Without the community's involvement, we will not win this war. So hence, we had to make sure that everybody is on board.
Mr. Tsonono Buyeye, Interim Nelson Mandela Bay Mayor, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, sir. Well, now we do have the game that is being played here between South Africa as well as Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe with an edge over South Africa, currently leading, and with the second stanza to follow of this game. Now let's get a feel of what the city is all about, and that is Nelson Mandela Bay.
Well, players have returned from their change room, and maybe conversations with the coach for the South African side was, young lads, stay calm, relax yourselves. You are on the right track. You are just promising to score a goal. It looks promising, and this is a solid young man, and I think that is Munaret Madzingidze sitting on the back. Was unable to just defend against this young man Sinenjongo Umkiva. Ref just walking her way back into the pitch and getting everybody out of the center. And another 45 minutes coming up. We waited to see if South Africa can come back from this one. Can they maybe find themselves scoring an equalizer or stealing this game away from Zimbabwe? Well, Rev just making sure that both sides are even and everyone is adhered to her instructions. Counting it. We are a few seconds away from kicking off this the second half, and Zimbabwe are still a goal up. South Africa are still in search of a goal, but something from the training ground, maybe they're coming from Zimbabwe 1 and South Africa still 0. Well, Mushala Makalo trying to find that man Sinenjongo Mkiva. Makes quite a good round. That's Mkiva, a young man, and a good chance as well to just lose the opponent. That is number 9, and Oswin Apolis always tucking in to create room for Ngosko Nakhatebe to make those runs and put in the crosses. Now, this kick there, and Raimo Milazi with a run into the box to cut it back in. But now here's a loss, and this young man, Oswin Apolis, says, I will be there, I will tap it in. A bit of a scrappy defending, like I had said earlier on. If South Africa continues to play the ball in the box and just pass one another, they will find themselves scoring goals. The defenders are not really communicating well for Zimbabwe, and Oswinapolis out of Norway, profiting from that ball coming from Rahim Milazi. Not too much power, not deciding who is going to clear the ball between the defenders of Zimbabwe. That is Munaret Madzingidze alongside Munashe Katondo, and this man, Coach Helman Mkelele, applauds his players again and saying, I told you boys, Rafael Patisi couldn't save this ball against Oswin Apolis, who's a goal scorer for the South African side. Now, this has to be a offside for this lucky number 10, Lexington Majokoro. Now, Bilal still with that energy he started the game with, still attacking. Ryan Millers has been tucking in, getting into the box, and the switch of play has been working for South Africa in this match. Buntle Mulife has 14 caps for his national team, this young man. Again, that Rowan Human sitting back now, being the holding midfielder. Just switching play, moving from one side to the other. And you have Lexington Mujokoro, who's the number 10 for Zimbabwe. It's just one of the busiest players. And no substitutions wise, we wouldn't know. Now a crosser comes in from that man again, Rahim Milazi, to try and find Oswinapolis again. A good pressing from South Africa, and he has a hard and low there to find Oswinapolis, but the first touch couldn't allow him. And oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now here's a man trying to get his goal registered as well, but unfortunately it just did not happen for Rowan Human. So this is an open game, and it's a game on because South Africa in the early stages of the second half, they were able to steal one goal before Zimbabwe was awake in the second half. So even one goal apiece. A game on. The one that dominates the most is most likely going to be the one that finds themselves scoring a second goal. Tenkosi Mkaba to Oswinapolis. Back to Mkaba, but not too much power to find Ethan Brooks. Now, if you look at Oswinapolis coming behind the ball most of the time, when they lose the ball, I can tell you that his fitness level is just unmatched in this game. I must say that the return of the Premiership in South Africa helped some of these youngsters to regain their fitness. No, Oswinapolis on the pace again. Not even going down, just persisting and pushing and forcing his way with those defenders. One of them saying, Pate, you ran too much, eh? Now, Coach Helman Mkelele just screaming and screaming to Tsepomieni to drop, to add numbers defensive-wise. Capitano is on the ball. Now, you run so much with no intent to play the ball somewhere. What is that man? Pini. Ball again to Rahim Milazi. Milazi finds Bilal Baloi. And I'm trying to understand it. There's South African players in their names, you know. They don't sound South African. The Rahims, the Bilal. You know, you swear we doing a game of a team in India. Now you have Ethan Brooks with a pass with no direction or address. This man has been a nerve in the defense side of South Africa. A big man asking to be carried out of the pack. That is Tapiwa Mandinyenya. Seeking that medical assistance, and the coach is just looking very sharp and trying to understand what really happened to his player there. The foul that was awarded to Zimbabwe, committed by South Africa as well. They wouldn't want a big man like Tapiwa. No. Coach says to his Captain Munashe Pine to go and play the right back position for now. Now, there's a cross coming in, but the ball cleared by that man Bilal Baloyi. Now Mulife would know better and would communicate better after having considered a goal at first half in a corner. Now nicely driven and a collusion there that they bounced off Butle Mulife. That is Munashe Karananga. Now quick medical assistance needs to be given to that young man Buntle Mulife, who collided with Munashe Karananga, just seeking help there. Now he seems to be fine, but just a bit of ice to help him come out. Well, he popped out of here and made that call and punched the ball. But his teammate, that is Mutlala Makalo, was able to hit the ball away. And that man, Munashe Karananga, collided with Buntle Mulife. He was also going for the ball. Well, a young man is up and already he just needs to shake that injury off, especially on the head. And you're a keeper, you just need to shake it off as early as you could, because if opponents come at you, they come at you. They don't mind. They don't care about your injury. Now, a good pressing by Ethan Brooks there to assist Auzunapolis with that shot, but nothing happened. Coming from that man, Tsepo Mieni. Now Bilal Baloyi on the ball, trying to find that man Rahim Milazi, but the flag is up. A throw in by Zimbabwe. That man, Ethan Brooks, with Calvin Mangiza. That's a big man who's just haven't had it easy in the second half. They keep him away from the frame of goal, away from the box. Rahim Milazi finds Ethan Brooks. Brooks to Mieni. Mieni to Apolis. First touch not convincing there from Auzunapolis. He just seems to shy away from protecting himself or protecting the ball. I mean, Rahim Milazi forever trying to put his body behind and just try to drop a shoulder, step over to lose the opponent. Ethan Brooks fighting with Pini, but Rahim Milazi unable to just win that one. Strength and power in the center. Recovery coming from Auzunapolis is remarkable. Forever alert. Now here's the pulling. They were pulling Auzunapolis. That is a Calvin Mangiza, and the ref said, "Not this time, Calvin. I can see you." Now Rowan Human in the center there, finding Mushala. Mushala looking to pocket passes Rahim Milazi forever available on the space and makes a good runs with this young man. And Rafael Batisi, and the keeper for Zimbabwe, will just looking to also try to not concede another goal, because should he concede, then he would have cost the team. Bilal Baloi, saved by Mushala. Now Ethan Brooks, too much of a good thing, and yes, there's a young man Rahim Milazi is going to go for a shot, and Oswin Rowan Human protested for a handball. They're coming from the hand of Manired Matzigiti. South Africa are coming out now, just adding numbers, adding bodies here in the final third. They've realized that when they keep the ball on the ground, more options or opportunities are presenting themselves to. Look at that touch from Rowan Human. And nice. The handball coming from that man, Manired Matzigiti. Must say the team manager of the MTC team, Mzwakhe Dladla, is probably watching this game with a smile on his face, seeing this man Oswin Apollos playing today. Is well, two players with technique, two players that are match fit, so you wouldn't want any other player to be there, because these are two players who also had advanced to the first team, that is Oswin Apollos and Rowan Human. Rowan Human was promoted. Now something from the training ground, but didn't materialize as per plan. I think the number of people on the wall didn't give room for Apollos to take that shot. Not sure what he wants to do with the ball. The centre back is over the centre and the full backs just before the centre. Now Apollo played longer to try and find Rowan Human, but unfortunately not what he wanted. Now let's see that Bini has been infringed there, foul by that man Bilal Baloi, also one of Mzwakhe Dladla's fruits in that tree of his Super Sport Academy. Young boy from Soshanguve, Kososh. The police clears it out of danger. Ethan Brooks trying to put pressure there, but not today. That centre back saying Manired Matzigiti. Switch of play. If you look at Rahim Milazi, if Mushala can see that Milazi is already on his bike, ready to ride his way through. Now it is Milazi attacking in, trying to find Rowan Human, and oh no, that is too much of a ambitious play, rather coming from Tsepomieni. Could have kept it with him and maybe added an extra touch. No, Apollos still putting pressure and trying to find a Brooks, but can this time Human score this goal, but denied by the centre backs. Again, I still say centre backs are frustrated with the ball playing that South Africa is displaying. You know, Zimbabwe are forced to sit back. Zimbabwe are forced to mark with numbers. Now the flag is up. Now you've got a number of players that are just warming up there and probably looking into bringing them on board. That is the South African side. Well, I think you have a number likes of Keenan Bezadenate and that Jaden Adams. So you've got players that have got minutes actually, that can offer you something when it comes to them coming on. Now, Leonardo Roy is one of the players too. Now, a ball played for Milazi. Milazi trying to get it in a comfortable position, but not allowing him. Well, Rowan Human also just being aggressively so, putting his body on the line here. Now, Mieni finds Brooks, but Mieni fouled by that man, Lexington Mujokoro. Well, it's a straight yellow card, this one. Unnegotiated. Frustrations are being brought forward to this Zimbabwean side. And you can tell that the ball playing South Africa is doing is really profiting them. Now, the Lexington Mujokoro made that foul, knowing very well. Look, there are people watching this game and they say these youngsters are fit. These youngsters have had a good run in this start of the tournament. Today had a good first half, and second half they are coming out now to display a more quality football. Substitution is waiting outside for South Africa, and it's another player who's got a few minutes with now ball played long, but keeper made a mistake, and here it is a feed over the line. I doubt that the ball was over the line. We can only hope. If you saw the South African players just raising their hands and just protesting there. No, it's up. Well, first up, I should say, he's had a good run. Now, they bring on another pacey player who is going to be sitting up front. And a person that is got a few minutes with Kaizer Chiefs first team. That is Keleto Sifama. I want to see which. I want to. No. Now Keleto Sifama comes in and then Mkiva makes way for him. Now Zimbabwe also making a substitution there, just bringing out Tapio Madinyenya and bringing on their number 15. That is Di Mapua. That is, his name is Dipela Mapua. I gotta give credit for this. So for Dipela Mapua. Oh, here's a Beanie trying to try and find Kelvin Mangiza. Double marking there coming from Ethan Brooks and Osvin Apollos. Mshala driving it to Apollos but unsuccessful. Now, good cover coming from Mushala Makola. Now throw-in played. Now can Zimbabwe get this one right? But unfortunate for that man, Panashe Mati Mbanyone unable to score this one. Well, still seems like a Zimbabwean side on the front foot now, putting those balls and adding bodies there, not properly cleared by Mushala. With that man Kelvin Mangiza forced a corner there, which is not a bad move coming from Kelvin Mangiza. As the man is out with an injury, of course, Tapio Mandinyenya. Okay, Zimbabwe trying to play it short while South Africa are not aware or alert of it. This man with a red card, with a yellow card already, that is Lexington Mujokoro. Whoops, a first ball but blocked by Buntle Mulife. Now Ethan Brooks has pushed forward now. Well, seems like some of the Zimbabwean players are going down, all of them, and some of them, should we say, are just going down. Now, keeper unable to clear that one, to take it out with the pass. Now, Khatebe is on the run and trying to cut it back for Sifama, but a good interception by that man, Rafael Patisi. Now, keeper has been asked to take the ball out. At first, he couldn't take the ball out. Now, it's still a play on, and South Africa are not looking into taking it out, but a push there on Atenkosi Mkaba. Oh, young man seems to be having Malvin Hativangone seems to be having a bit of muscle pulls. Oh, I couldn't match it. Now here's the incident that Rafael Patisi, who made that blunder and just jumped, he got over the line, but now someone could argue and say his knee had protected the ball from crossing the line, but with great angles of cameras, we then get to see different views of the ball, and he definitely went over the line, and the assistant ref was unable to see it. Well, South Africa could be a goal up. He went in with that ball, and it is definitely a goal. Well, it's all gone now. It's all gone. I'll tell you that Malvin Hativangone, 18-year-old, will be coming off with a stretcher after that pulling off a muscle, and a player will be coming on, that is number 6. That is Tendai Matindife. No. No, they're making those necessary subs or forced subs based on the injuries, and we get to hear a few pointers about it later on. And this water break will be good for the Zimbabwean side because they can't seem to contain this game. Most of their players actually just suffering from these muscle pulls, and they don't allow them to get back. Well, aside that was robbed a goal. Keeper went in with the ball into over the line, but I guess the assistant referee didn't pick it up, and it's still now 1-1. Now there's a man, the injured man, that is Malvin Hativangone, is out to be replaced by Tendai Matindife, who is maybe looking into adding pace, if he has pace on his legs. And the referees are just discussing that. Well, they're discussing that incident that happened earlier on. Well, the assistant ref perhaps is saying, I was late with the run. And the referee says, my angle was not the greatest. If you check here is the ball being played, but from this angle you can't really tell that it crossed the line, and because the knee also popped out to just keep the ball off the line, and this angle gives you everything. But now if you check, the assistant ref is still on his run, so unable to pick that one up, that it was a goal, and you see the keeper already being guilty, popping his knee out, and the assistant ref was already making a 10 to follow the ball. So not easy for him to pick up. Maybe he was late. The pace of the ball and his pace might not be the same. So there's a bit of an argument there. However, South Africa will say we were robbed of a goal. Well, we're back now. 77 minutes we've played in this match, and South Africa still won. Zimbabwe are sitting on one. You know, there's a man that couldn't make it on time with his run to see where that ball went. Well, it's all gone now. They live to fight. You know, so that Zimbabwe had made a substitution. Hati Vangoni was out, is out because of an injury, and this man Tendai Matindi came on to replace Malvin. Corner kick for Zimbabwe. Well, he's fixed his error, so this young man Buntle Mulife just making sure that his side or his box is not obstructed. Now nicely whipped over. Now the ball is cleared, but the header was returned to this man Lexington Mojokoro, who then says, okay, we open the gates, if you know what I mean. We're bringing them back to life, this man. I must say that well, nicely floated, and Buntle Mulife going for the player more than him actually just putting his body in front as a keeper would have been a better option to win this ball. But a smart play coming from that man there who just blocked Buntle Mulife, that is Dipela Mapua, and he just came on as a sub and gave this man Lexington Majokoro a goal scoring opportunity. Yeah, no. And, right now, the second half of this match, and South Africa 1 and Zimbabwe 2. Seems like well, South Africa spent a lot of time in the second half in the opposition's half trying to get another goal, but it was just unfortunate. And now Zimbabwe gets a set piece. They then again put numbers in the box. They then again obstruct Buntle Mulife. And Buntle Mulife should have known better. You don't go behind the player. You rather go in front because you are at advantage, and the ref would have refed in your favor if there was any obstruction coming on there. Now a ball up to Rowan Human. Can he convert this one? Bloody blasts into the keeper without picking a spot there. That is Rowan Human, unable to just score that goal. I must say, he had a chance there. Rowan Human was out there. He made a good run. Now, the coaches are filming and the player's just taking his time. That is the number 12 of the Zambian side, Tinotendo Muringai. You see that Ozinapolis now is taking responsibility of putting those throw-ins. Now a ball played by Human to Ozinapolis. Polis trying to get into the box, but blocked by that man, Kelvin Mangiza. Now look at Amonde just screaming and saying that is just a blatant handball. Oh, the ref did not see it, Amonde. Sumoya Baba, that's what they say. Oh, pushing there, coming from Atenkosi Mkaba. The ball is played to Pini, who's drifted down to right back and finds this goal scorer man putting pressure on Bilal Baloi. Lexington Mujokoro. Now, can we see some sort of skill from Lexington but trying to drop a shoulder? Nicely watched by Bilal Baloi and resulting into a corner kick. No, set pieces have not been the greatest for South Africa. So now, what do they then do? Well, it's all about Buntle Molefe just mastering the way he will be coming off the goal line. How that player again, Tipera Mapua, nicely played in and out. Good punch from Buntle Molefe, but this time around picked up by the ref that there was some sort of obstruction. Or Lexington decides to go down and pulls his shorts up. Obviously another hamstring. Another hamstring injury coming from the Zimbabwean side. And Buntle Molefe just frustrated, saying, let me get you up so you can go out. And now the sad part is that the ref hasn't called the first aid guys to come on. And just the medic only started to come in now. Now I think there was an error with his landing there. Then he realized that no, I cannot do this no more. I would rather go down and be stretched off the pitch. I haven't seen Zimbabwe making any straight substitution in this match. All of them have been forced on the basis that players are just pulling their muscles. Now, ball played to Bilal Baloi, to Rahim Milazi to Ethan Brooks. Sfiso Tepo Mieni just going wide to find that man Osvin Apollis, but not the greatest first touch coming from Osvin Apollis. Now Mkaba. Mukala to Bilal Baloi with a run coming from Ethan Brooks, but Keleto Sifama was the target man there as he's the striker now. Now Ethan Brooks to Rahim Milazi to Human goes wide to find that man, but goes corner. Khatebe not executing the right technique in that position or in that angle. Man, it could have gotten or could have gone with full laces more than him just instepping that pass, that shot at goal. Now, time-wasting tactics are going to result into players getting into the referee's books, which is really going to affect some of these players, the likes of Lexington. When they play maybe their last game, the coach will then opt to keep them on the bench because of the number of cards they would have gotten. That's if they get another card come the next game. Rafael Patisi going long. Now, Human, that is a police on the ball. It's a 2v1 and he's still on the ground, he's still standing strong. And Khatebe also adding numbers there to try and assist in them getting a goal. The ball is still with Apollis, but Apollis finds Khatebe, and Khatebe claims to be pulled, or he goes down so easily rather. Now here's another option for Zimbabwe to try and get a goal, but Dipela Mapua was caught offside there. Now a substitution has to take place for the Zimbabwean side. Lexington Majokoro coming out, and this man Bill Antonio will be looking into sealing the remaining 3 minutes of this match. That is Antonio Bill. What is Bill? I wonder if his name Bill was given. Let me rather not say. Now Rahim Milazi took his eyes off the ball. I think a young Bill Clinton, or maybe there was no inspiration coming from the Americans. No. No. Mushala Makola. Tebomieni trying to find the runner coming from Osvin Apolis. Must say South African players have stood the ground. A drop kick, they're trying to find Mr. Bill. And, that is Bilal Baloi to Mushala Makola. Makola finds Atenkosi Mkaba. Now combination coming there to find Sifama from Rowan Human, but Sifama well pocketed, well capped there by this man Manared Matigiti, who is now told to go back and well, a minute is remaining on the clock, and South Africa are looking into making a sub as well, just to try and add someone. And looks like the young man Rahim Milazi will be the one to come off and make way for Keenan Bezenate. But the referee says, let us play. We will see the substitution later. Now, Rowan Human here, looking at going for goal. This is the last option for him, especially with the time having to elapse. I think Keleto Sifamo haven't seen much of him. Well, he goes for goal, but too much power on it. Not anything to trouble the keeper. Now, this young man, Rahim Milazi, has been pulled off to make room for that man, Keenan Bezenate. And now he goes to play striker, and Keleto Sifama will then come to the left-hand side, because he's pretty much a winger, more than him being a striker. Now, you have Ethan Brooks finds Rowan Human. Human goes behind the defense, and Ozin Apolis with a good first touch. He puts his body, but unable to just put it past the keeper. What a good run. That was a 3-on-1, and he still stood his ground. Well, seems like the time has gone by, and the ref is not giving any indication as in how many minutes or time added on in this game. Well, we're playing on a blank check now. We just see or hear when the ref blows it off. No, still South Africa had an advantage here, trying to switch play. That is because Kona Khatebe, but technique not the greatest to find Sifama. Now communication and confusion there between Bilal and this man Buntle Mulifa saying 10, Well, he could have simplified it and they rolled it to him. Then he made a good run going wide. Could have played him. No, we need keepers that are ball players now. So Buntle Mulife can do better. Now Upini on the ball. Going long to find that man that just came on. That is Antonio Upini. Well, fuming Mushala Makola with that last touch claim, but the assistant ref is not buying it at all. Ball with Pini. Now can hear the ref coach is saying corner flag, corner flag. Well, as things stands, we remain 91 minutes of this game. It's quite shocking that we are still on a minute in. It's amazing. Well, they have gotten a few minutes behind their clock, I must say. It's shocking, but we'll then follow what the ref says, and says 4 minutes additional time this to be played, and yes, 4 minutes additional time it is. South African players a bit of frustration now with the whistle being blown most of the time. Now Bill is the target man by that Minashe Karananga. Now here's that man Karananga to find a Bill. Bill drills it in and saved by Mushala. Well, clearance there by Tepomieni is just not convincing. Now pulling off a player there. I think the ref will then book this man. That is Kelvin Mangiza for pulling Rowan Human there as he was trying to make a run. And it's a fair booking, and Massa gave a booking. Well, you take one for the team. If need be. No, Human just positioning himself and floating the ball to find Mushala. But Mushala gets a chance and he gets the goal. That is Mushala after ricochet. After ricochet, Mushala finds himself equalizing in the additional time. This man was unable to save this one. That is Rafael Patisi. Oh no, that is Mushala was just there and it ricocheted on him and he was able to just get it into the back of the net. A good floating of the ball. Well, it was cleared initially, but it bounced off Mushala and the keeper was unable to just save that one. But a good comeback by South African side, and well positioned Mushala was able to get that one over the line. Now here's this man who just hit a handball. My goodness, that is the drama. Well, should we say that Rowan Human now finding Keleto Sifama, but Sifama caught offside. And, well, now substitutions are happening. Well, if you want to kill the clock, you just bring Murapedi Ralinkwane to solidify at the back. Well, I must say that South Africa was saved by that man. Centre back and additional of numbers. Now can we see Keleto Sifama maybe taking a shot at goal on? It's only a few seconds away from the ref saying it's all done and dusted, youngsters, but let's wait and see if the 4 minutes will be 4 minutes played. Now, Atenkosi Mkaba, centre back, has been trying to be solid but unable to not concede. They rather concede goal. Now, ball to find the Sifama. He's a good drop shoulder. Then he goes for shot, but not at its best. But when he does it good. I must say that. Well, it's only a few moments away from the ref blowing this one off and calling it, but we still play 10 seconds over the additional time. So again, ball played behind the defenders, and Keleto Sifama putting some pace there. Can he poke it into the net? Yes, it does, but South African side, this man gets it away from the frame of goal. He could have gave South Africa the lead. My goodness. My goodness. Kinnan better than 8. My goodness. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Look at Keleto Sifama putting his body behind and just running past the keeper. This man needed to just tap the ball into the net. Oh my, oh my, oh my. The ref says it's all over. You've had a fair chance, boys. South Africa could have taken the lead. And this man, his only first touch could have gave South Africa a lead or a win. I say credit must be given to the fittest young star, Oswin Apollis. That is a young man putting in some minutes and just making sure that he plays for the team going into this match. You know, as these things stand, we have South Africa coming back into this match and scoring 2 goals, coming from behind. And Zimbabwe also having scored 2 goals, profiting from set pieces that took place. One in the first half and one in the second half. Well, it is 2 South Africa and 2 Zimbabwe. So the officials were just having a good time, and the official will definitely know that she missed a goal in favor of South Africa, but it just did not materialize for them. However, it is 2 South Africa and 2 Zimbabwe. Well, these are the chances that came on earlier on. The likes of Nkoskona Khatebe trying to find this young man, Rahim Milazi, who got himself into the box and just rolled it in. And Oswin Apollis was there to put power behind the ball to just help his squad come back into this game when they were trailing a goal down. Now, Rahim Milazi has been instrumental in this game. The strategy of using his side most of the time really worked for Coach Helman Mkelele, and he had a good run in this game. Now, Coach Helman Mkelele will obviously be applauding his players and just saying, you did good, but Buntle Mulife could have done better, but Lexington Mujokoro was able to score from that obstruction that came from Dipela Mapua, and it just gave Lexington the room to take that shot at goal without any hesitation. Without any hesitation, first pole was not guided. Well, then South Africa gets a set piece and Roman Human flows it very well. Well, then that man says, I can score 2 from a center back. That is Mushala Makola. I must say, the weight and the drive of that ball really gave Mushala the chance to just score it so well. Good height, good pace, and South Africa equalizes. Now, statistics are really going to raise the bar. 68 and goal attempts, 15 And you see the number of fouls are almost a difference of 1. However, ball position in favor of South Africa and Zimbabwe 34.
What a game we had on our hands, a draw, but drama was there. Joining me now, we do have our player of the match, and it goes to Ethan Brooks, who made his first appearance today for Amajita. Ethan, first and foremost, congratulations. How was your first game for Amajita?
It was a great game. I felt like I did well with the guys. But yeah, most of all, I'll just say thank you to the coach for, giving me the opportunity. But yeah.
Your position for today, I mean, you covered a lot of space between the defense as well as attack. I mean, how was that, the running back and forth?
No, it's with the position, comes with the position, so yeah.
And how is the current mood at the team and knowing what is expected as the host nation?
No, everyone knows what's expected, and we know what we have to do. I mean, you could see both first and second half, but yeah, we'll get there.
Congratulations, Ethan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ethan Brooks, player of the match from South Africa, Amajita, making his first appearance for Amajita. Now joining me, we do have the South Africa coach, Coach Helman Kalel. Coach, appreciate your time. Just your summation on the game.
Thank you so much. I think we have all seen it, we considered, from the set piece, of which I believe that we could have done better. But we came back very strong, and I'm so proud of the boys because even though we came back, twice, but we managed to make sure that, we showed character. We didn't lose focus. We created lots and lots of chances. So, yeah, I believe that is one of the learning curves for the boys, that they will understand that in games like this, you make sure that you make use of each and every chance that you get. And also, again, I believe that we still need to go and work more harder on defending the set place, because those are the only moments where they threaten us.
You kept on preaching as well, patience in terms of the build-up, because you could see that they hurried in terms of attack and that led them to nowhere.
Yeah, because we keep on, encouraging them that let the ball run. You saw the Zimbabweans, they ran out of steam, they were cramping because I believe that the more we let the ball run, the more we reserve energy that you can, keep on attacking. And we did that, but it's just that our boys, they were a little bit late in terms of making those passes, like the circulation of the ball. But I'm really happy about, how we entered the final third, creating lots of chances.
A share of the spoils. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
That is the coach of South Africa. Will now be joined by the coach of Zimbabwe, Coach Tonderia Ndiraya. Coach, apologies if I butchered your name. Just your summation on the 90 minutes.
Yeah, look, I think in the pre-match interview, I said we are playing a very strong South African side. A team which played in the finals, last year, and we had to come up with a plan. And the plan is what we showed today. We couldn't go pound for pound, obviously because of the fitness issues. We had to sit back and try and catch them on the break. I'm happy that we were very strong, covered the spaces in the first half. Of course, we conceded what I can term a soft goal. And then, in fact, all the two goals were soft for me. Couldn't defend the second goal, couldn't defend a long ball. But look, credit to my boys. They fought, they were playing a very strong team, and here we are. Got a point from a very difficult match. South Africa played well today, as we expected, but I think we defended very well. And, on a few occasions, nearly caught them on the counter break.
The synergy within the team, I think that was one thing that you were worried about because of you did mention that a lot of these players have not played together for a while, and that was something that you were thinking about. What did you see here today?
Yeah, look, I think this is our first competitive match as a team, a very first one, and if you can get a result, out of a team which was just assembled and trained for 10 days, then there's nothing you can do besides just giving your players all the kudos. So very happy about the way the boys went about the business today, and we hope to take it up from here.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Coach Tonderai Ndiraya of Zimbabwe joining me. Just giving his thoughts on the post-match as we look at what transpired today in Group A. Started off with Mozambique getting that victory against Lesotho. South Africa on 2 occasions having to pull themselves into this game. It was a share of the spoils between Amachita as well as the Young Warriors. That, of course, sums up the first games in Group A as the things currently stand right now. Mozambique having been able to win against Lesotho means that they are still number 1, with South Africa and Zimbabwe having a shared a point apiece, and Lesotho bottom of the group. As we look forward to what tomorrow brings as far as the COSAFA Under-20 Youth Championship is concerned, we do have a Group B fixtures as well as a Group C clash. We start off with Malawi up against the Comores here at the Wolfson Stadium, and later on the defending champions against Namibia over at the Gelvendale Stadium. It will be Angola up against Eswatini in a Group C clash. Of course, so we've just wrapped up day 1 in an exciting day here at the Wolfson Stadium as we saw Group A fixtures, Mozambique being the only team that was able to record a victory. Tomorrow, of course, we bring you all of the action with the particular 2 encounters that will be played simultaneously, one from Group B as well as one from Group C. Well, from myself, Lerato Pajo, and the incredible crew, take care.